Yo,
Oh,
Fleur. So I hope you're all doing well on this fine evening. It's good to see you. Thank you for coming. I'm really glad you can make it. Excuse my voice tonight because I do have issues with my voice since yesterday. So I'm just getting deeper and deeper. We got PJ Cruikshank in Ellemnet. How you doing, mate?
yo. I lost connection for a
I
minute.
saw that, yeah.
Yeah. I've got the cable in, and it said it wasn't. So I put it back, took it back and put it in, and it came up, and it still said poor connection. We're due a storm here, so it might be something to do with that. I don't know.
It could be due to a storm. You never know.
Yeah. Even though it's all ground, it's all.
But you had.
Problems.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Did you have a good day today?
Yes, I was building a unit, a bookcase. We've got a glass door bookcase, and it took me about 3 hours. Took us about 3 hours.
But it looks epic. It looks very good.
Yeah, Vicky was good. She read out the instructions properly and all that, and gave me the right screws and all that stuff. So it's all good. It was teamwork.
I'm just going to say hi to everybody in the chat. Good to see you,
Okay.
Jeff Gasshead. Ronnie Pickering, good to see you, mate. Sovereign Soul Unchained, great to have you, mate. The Price of Adam, always good to see you. Bible you, thank you, Paula, for coming. It's always good to see you too. Television, Spudding, here, I'm here now. Now we can start. It's great to have you in. Carl Paul, thank you for coming, mate. Mad about a shape. Hello, yeah, part 3. Can you believe it? I didn't think we were going to get that far. Merman Rider, good to see you, mate. And Richard G, good afternoon. Thank you for coming. Yeah, it's sinuses, because I've always struggled with sinuses, but since I've moved to the bush, especially when season starts to change, it really gets bad, and that's what's happened to me. I had a sinus attack and had a bit of laryngitis, so yeah. But it's good to see you guys. I have the votes going on. I don't know what you voted for, PJ. Why is the Glober, it should say so triggered, guy, by the way, not SOP. But because he can't accept reality, 71%. Because that's cog pain, 29%. No, he's not triggered, just passionate. Which one did you vote for?
I voted the top one.
Because he can't accept reality. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Definitely. Hey, Two Wolves, good to see you. We've been looking at, don't know if you checked in the chat right now. We're talking about some gas behavior things. I think it's going to be a good idea to do a full stream on gas and gas behaviors and everything. Because a lot of people are asking questions, and we might need to, just go through some things, and we can see what are gases exactly, and how do they respond to different behavioral environment behaviors, I'd say. I think it'll be an interesting stream to have. Would you agree?
Absolutely, definitely. I'd like to do that, without a doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a while since we had a full stream on things to do. I mean, we've done gas pressure quite a lot, but when it comes to behaviour, I don't think we've done so much of it.
But I think it's needed, especially because you get Dell denying gas particles. So just to rub it in his face. We'll teach some gas particles. So yeah, I don't know where Michael is, guys. I know he's been quite quiet today. Maybe been busy.
I'm WhatsApping him to see if he's coming in.
He'll maybe come later or whatever. But hey, we're all here. It's good to see you guys. Glad you could make it. And speaking of gas pressure, the latest video will premiere tonight at 12. The members already watched it, so glad the members were able to. It will premiere for all the normal people tonight at 12. And yeah, it's about gas particles. And then also, speaking about gas, Full Bell is coming on tomorrow night to teach us thermodynamics. Whoopsie. So bring your calculators and your notepads, because
Right.
Professor Phil Bell is coming to teach us about thermodynamics. I'm so excited. Always willing to learn. Let's just hope he's going to also learn when he realizes that his globe violates the second law of thermodynamics. But we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Dal is double speaking. Just on his stream yesterday alone, I think there were 4 or 5 different times I got him double speaking different subjects. So I'm definitely probably going to make a series on all his double speak.
Yeah, like I don't deny gas particles. I just deny gas particles.
Exactly. That's crazy. Television says someone can press Control Alt. I can't, otherwise it's gonna change my screen. But anyway, yeah, it's good to see you guys. We ended last night on with this guy getting very triggered. So I thought let's go to that point where he starts getting triggered. Are you happy with that? Do you think it's going to be good?
Absolutely.
Okay, let's do this, guys.
This is what's annoying is because it's misinformation, dude. Everything in that video is misinformation. We established elevation.
The same claim could be made about every damn assertion you just made, Austin. I find it highly objectionable. You disagree with him. He's talking about surveying work, a book that's been around for 45 years, that's making a practical difference to surveyors actually constructing buildings.
Oh yeah, and I was also thinking, guys, I'm gonna do a surveying stream as well.
I've got to say, they don't take. He's talking about surveying. Surveyors don't take any coverage into
Not at all.
Consideration.
Not at all. But like I said, I'm going to. I think we're gonna do a surveying stream as well. Might be needed.
Cool.
Hey Richard G, good. Thank you for coming in. And Jeff Gass said hello. Good to see you, mate. But yeah, I think we'll do a gas behavior stream, and we'll do a surveying stream, and then probably a celestial navigation stream as well. I think there's a few topics we might need to catch on because we get asked this a lot. I've even get people asking me things like with Coriolis, how it would work on a flat Earth, things like that. Like what? I'm not saying Earth's removing, so Coriolis has got nothing to do with my Earth. But yeah. But anyway, we'll do it. Hey, Pseudo Reality and Signa Step, good to see you, mate. Thank you for coming in. Hey, Control Delete's not going to work. Please don't do that. It will exit. Anyway.
But can't you come on the panel yet, bud?
But it's good to see you guys. Please hit the likes and share the show if you haven't already. Yeah, let's go on to see how triggered this guy gets.
Yeah.
You're differing. That means you can't both be speaking what is true. One of you must be false. But it doesn't mean that either one of you is a liar.
He is lying. He's lying.
Austin,
he's lying.
He's not lying, and
he is.
Really find it offensive that you would be so arrogant as to make that claim. I don't like it, Austin.
What's funny is, you know what's funny, Jim? He would make fun of you. He would make fun of you for challenging the moon landing. He would make fun of you for challenging Sandy Hook. He would clown you for challenging the moon landing. You don't seem to know who that guy is. You don't know him. You don't know him. He would make fun of you.
Yes, buddy, we're talking about delete. I'm going to start calling Dell delete. China has built a 164-kilometer long bridge. Wow. Yeah, Thomas, and not any curvature taken into account, correct?
So, that Ian Molyneux says surveying video would be great. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Hey Ian, good to see you, mate. Thank you for coming in. M Stone, hello. And yes, McKeegan is a liar because he goes and literally cherry picks parts in a book and ignores the rest where it says they don't take curvature into account for less than 10 kilometers. And he's a geodetic survey. If you knew anything about geodetic surveying, it's based on planar surveying, and then they take the data with consideration of an ellipsoid. So they take slope angles and call it earth curve. Not because it is earth curve, because they believe it's earth curve. It's begging the question.
It is.
Yeah. Hey, it's me again. Good to see you, mate. And Awesome Lawson. Woohoo. Good to see you, mate.
Well, Spud, can't wait for you to get that connection, man. Miss you on the panel, man.
Definitely. Pseudo Reality, I watched your pizza video. It looked good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. People didn't like that I made a pineapple pizza. I like pineapple on pizza. I think it's great.
I like. I know. I can deal with it. I can deal with pineapple on pizza. No problem. I mean, here you get battered pineapples. It's called pineapple fritters, isn't it? From a Chinese. Yeah. You've heard of them? Yeah. Like battered pineapple. Battered pineapple fritters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know how to pronounce that. Kanye West?
Kanye, I think
Kanye
it's
West. Kanye West, but with a C.
See,
Yeah. I think the most odd pizza I've ever had is a ice cream pizza.
Oh, wow.
That's the oddest pizza I've ever had. But it wasn't bad. It really wasn't bad.
Okay.
I mean, I've had some weird pizzas. Like I said, I've had a broccoli pizza before, where the crust was made out of broccoli and cauliflower. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't like pizza to me.
Well, Scotland is famous for the battered Mars bars.
Hey, Tom Bird, Buddha's good to see you, mate. Thank you for coming. And Rachie, hello, Kanye West. Thank you for coming, Rachie.
Quorum, you're excessively
Jim,
aggressive.
you interrupted me.
I
want you to let us talk when it's our turn.
You interrupted
we
me.
don't have time to assess.
You interrupted me. I do have
Let us
decorum.
talk when it's our turn, Jim.
If he's gonna remain on this program, he's gonna have to show some deference to what's going on here and not
Jim,
make absurd claims.
Jim,
like
Jim,
lying.
Jim, listen.
Not lying.
Jim, let me say something. He can back up his claims. Okay? And wait, hold on, Jim. Let me finish what I'm saying. It's our turn to talk. You made a whole bunch of false
claims. I gave you your turn to talk.
No, you played a 20-minute video. We're not even 10 minutes into our reply.
You weren't even 3 minutes into your reply, by the way. Not even about 10 minutes. But yeah. Oh, by the way, someone attempted to do the flask challenge, remember? That I gave McToon?
Yeah.
And the guy failed miserably.
No doubt.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys want to watch it though, because he did brilliant maths. Not gonna lie there, but like usual, Globers work on a premise that comes from false information. So if you ever want to watch it, guys, let me know. Then we can bring it up, because I think it's 2 minutes long, but he did try. By the way, McToon, it's been almost a year now. Still waiting for you to show us the height of my flask.
That's right.
Okay? You played a 20-minute video that we knew. All you had to do is say, you know of this video? Can you
Oh, Peaceful Warrior, deep fried pizza. That sounds good. Yeah, definitely.
respond to it? We didn't need to listen to it, but that's okay. You want to play it? That's fine. All right? So we're trying to respond. We're giving you facts, and we can prove that he's lying, right? And the other thing
he's
is...
not lying. I can't tell you enough how objectionable I find that.
All right.
He sincerely believes everything he said. If he sincerely believes everything he said, he might be wrong, but he's not lying.
No, I've correct.
You know what, Keith, but you know what I find odd about this? Does he even know who David is? Does he know him personally? How can he define his motives? How can he be divine to know what the motives of Dave McKeegan is, if he's lying or not? We know he's lying because the information he presents in the same book shows he is lying. So yeah, we got proof that he is lying about it, because I don't think he would not have read the parts where it says what he's saying is wrong. It's amazing.
Corrected him, and he's been corrected.
And you're claiming he's a liar is itself a lie, because you have to know.
Jim, let me ask you a question. If somebody
I'm really
corrects you,
offended by this.
Jim, listen. If somebody corrects you, shows you evidence, and you ignore it and continue to say
that's because you're begging the question by assuming you're right.
What? Begging the question by assuming you're right. That's not begging the question.
That's an assumption.
Yeah.
Not begging the question.
Wow, Jim.
Oh, great, isn't it?
Hey, don't shoot the messenger. Good to see you. Oh, wow. Yeah, he's triggered and defensive.
I keep thinking his mic's an oxygen tank.
Yeah, it's a Yeti.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. I just don't like the shapes of them.
No.
Frankly, I believe he's entitled to his opinion and that he's right.
Projection.
And that user says he's wrong and that he's lying are thereby lying. So
no. The way I know, let me clarify. Let me clarify. The way I know,
to give a free and open and balanced opportunity to discuss these issues.
You interrupted me though.
Take a couple more minutes if you want on this, but I'm not happy.
Okay, so the way I know that he's not being particularly honest is because he's actually been confronted with it. So he's been shown that it's not true.
See, he's shaking his head. So how do you know he's not been confronted with it, Jim? Wow. This is epic. Well done, Witsit. Really, really awesome.
And then he went and made a video and omitted the evidence to present a narrative that's misleading to people. That requires intention, which is the definition of lying. Exactly. We can disagree that he's lying, okay, but he is spreading misinformation, that's for sure. The way that we establish elevation is we measure a vertical distance above the perpendicular horizontal baseline. That's how we measure elevations. Has nothing to do with the curved earth. I can pull up the government's official engineering site right now that says for up to 100 square miles, all engineering assumes that the earth is flat and uses plane survey. All of it. It is not in any way. How can you build a bridge assuming the earth is curved? He said it himself that it's curved, you just can't tell. It's close enough. So in reality, plane survey is how we get maps, distances, how we do engineering. The globe claims, if we stitch them all together over a distance, I promise it would be curving. Let me actually change the radius by 15%, assume refraction, assume the curvature, throw out all the other measurements.
Yeah, Rachie, vertical distance is not the right word to use. You're supposed to say elevation angle. Because altitude is taken on the vertical, but that's perpendicular to the horizontal, which is established from mean sea level, the reference datum.
Simple. You just can't have a baseline that I
Yeah, so he did say that, I would say. Hey, INFE, good to see you. Thank you for coming. But then again, Witsit does have a way of saying words wrong, like with the diffraction limit. He says it's the convergence, the diffraction line, which is false. But we understand at least what he's saying.
Cook the books, and then if I get within 80%, somehow that proves that the Earth's the ball, and then they hijack the horizon, which is optical, and claim that it's physical. And everything that I'm saying is a fact, okay? And that's why we have to assume the Earth is flat to get elevation, and that's why we have to assume the Earth is flat to build things, because if you assumed it was a globe, it wouldn't work. These are all facts. That's why I get very frustrated by videos like that. The same guy who says anyone that denies the moon landing is a complete idiot, they should be censored and all this stuff. Yeah, that's right. I don't like people like that. I don't like people.
Yeah, David Keegan's totally against you, Jim, because you're a moon denier. He's an outright, how can I say it, moon cultist believer. He goes out of his way to try and prove it, even though it can't be proven because it's fake.
That's right.
No, I don't think he did. I think Jim's still alive, mate. Although I think it was close.
People that misrepresent information once it's been presented to them. So if we can get into the actual empirical evidence of it, that would be cool. But begging the question at the Earth's a sphere and then making calculative assumptions is not science. It's not empirical. It's effectively a religion.
Yeah, and that begging the question comes after the planar surveying, guys. After they take flat measurements. Yeah.
Austin, I think those all could be said of you and David and your belief in a flat earth. Now, I'm interested in having an exchange of views, but calling someone who disagrees with you a liar is...
He just gave a reason why he's a liar. Really? And you know what the hypocritical thing of this Jim guy is? He's saying Austin them are lying. Yeah, so why is he not giving the backup claim why Austin them are lying? Oh, because you're a flat earther. That's his claim. Okay.
Yeah.
Brilliant rebuttal, Jim.
Is offensive and unacceptable, and I'm objecting to it.
All right, Jim, let's move on.
Let me move forward.
Oh, advert. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I also can't believe they made him watch for 20 minutes long. It's crazy.
Why don't I
Climate
get
tree.
5
Here's
minutes?
another argument. Imagine and it's related. Imagine a vast plain with but one tree smack in the middle. If the earth were flat, your vision would extend exactly as far while standing at the base of the tree as it would at the top of the tree.
That's false, Jim. What the hell? And this is exactly the same as STSE brought a video out the other day. And he's probably going to show STSE as well. I think so. This is so idiotic.
Wow.
Oh, wow. What is up with these people? Not showing they don't understand how things work.
The doctrine runs deep.
Yeah. Let's just take a brick here. This is how the Globers explained it, guys. Let's take a brick here.
Mm-hmm.
And then, how did he do it? I think he said you had an ant. Yeah. And then he said you had a rat. Make a rat. And he said you had a cat. And then you had a Great Dane dog or something. Now they're all looking at this brick. Now, this is STC, guys. You look out at it. This is what he's saying. You look out at the brick. Okay? He says you will always see the brick. No matter your height, because you'll see exactly the same. This is how he puts his lines.
Wow. Wow. Oh, it's great.
This is
That's
how
great.
idiotic it is. Okay, let's quickly fix that for these idiots. When you're down here, you see up in the sky, and,
Oh, yeah, you're looking up.
and you can limit it to what you can see like that. Okay. Next one, you can see even higher. Okay, so we're just gonna put it like that. It doesn't matter. Actually, it goes further, and then your angle becomes larger. Get it? Because you higher up, you're able to see further. That's why when they take a drone and they go up in elevation with the drone, you see the horizon move up further and further. Remember Ozian with his drone footage?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is how idiotic these people are. I would laugh if he brings up STSE showing that, guys. I'm gonna laugh my head off.
Tree. However, the further you climb, the farther your line of sight will extend to the horizon. No one has
Cheers, Pseudo Reality. Thank you for coming, mate. Have an awesome evening further. And Yannick Dizinger, good to see you, mate.
any doubt about it. That's because parts of Earth that were concealed from view by its curvature are now revealed because your position has changed. Travel through or within different time zones. According to a 2008 paper in Applied Optics.
Whoa, why is he changing the subject? He just started with that subject. He just says what you would see on the flat Earth, and now he moves over to time zones. Can't this guy stick to one argument at a time? Wow, thank you very much, Incredibly Cherry, just for your $5 super chat and saying nothing. Really do appreciate it. Let me put it. I'm trying to heart it. Heart? Why is it not hearting? There we go. Thank you very, very much for the support. Really appreciate all the support, Incredibly Cherry. You are awesome, and it's good to see you here. Thank you for coming. If you have any message, just tag me and I will shout it out. Thank you very much. Hey, Moxie.
By David K. Lynch, the curvature of Earth becomes somewhat visible at an elevation of 35,000 feet.
That's false. According to Neil deGrasse Tyson, at how much feet shouldn't you even be able to see the curve? I think he said at the ISS you shouldn't even be able to see the curve, correct?
Yeah, he did. He says the ISS would probably not be able to see it, yeah.
Yeah.
Very weird. That's meant to be blasting at 17,500 miles an hour around it.
Yeah. 2 millimeters above this beach ball. That stuff is flat. Hey, Swirly, good to see you, mate.
with a greater than 60-degree field of vision and more easily visible at an...
Yeah, what's it? You say it best when you say nothing at all. I think that's the song that Rachel's talking about.
Boys on the Westlife.
Yeah, Westlife. There we go.
Yeah, one of them.
Yeah, I haven't heard that song in like ages.
No, not me.
Apparently, that's a Neil deGrasse Tyson fallacy now.
Nice. He's got a palace named after him.
Oh, wow. How's the votes going, guys? 37 votes. Why is the Glober so triggered? Because he can't accept reality, 57%. Because that's cog pain, 32%. He's not triggered, just passionate, 11%. No, it's definitely not number 3, guys. He's triggered.
No doubt that.
elevation of 50,000 feet. So if you're on the right commercial flight, you might be able to see the curvature of Earth with your own 2 eyes. I have seen it.
You've seen it with your own eyes on an airplane. I've flown an airplane many times. Heck, one of my old intros on my show was from an airplane, and it was flat.
Yeah, Tom Buddha says 121,000 foot balloon footage shows it's flat as F.
Yeah, let's quickly go show actually. Felix Baumgartner, correct?
Yeah.
Red Bull jump from space. Let's see if we can see that photo from inside the cockpit. I want to see images. See how they put the wide angle lens, guys, but let's quickly go inside. Where's inside? But I mean, even this one, look at that. Wow, does that look curved to you?
Wow, no, not at all.
Not
at all.
I'm gonna look because it's on the video.
But the ones that are
there we
curved.
go. There we go.
Yes.
Look at that. Does that look curved to you?
No.
Because he hasn't got a wide angle lens.
One.
Yeah.
And even when you do see the coverage, that means the Earth
it's
is
optical.
the size of a lemon beach ball. Yeah.
Hey, guns of never owned. Good to see you, mate. Yeah, this is insane. You would swear this guy's stuck in 2014 giving up arguments like this.
That's right.
You cannot see Earth curve even on the model at 35,000 feet.
In the event that you're not high enough, though, you can still experience the curvature of Earth another way. For example, if you were to fly all the way around the world, you'd find that it would be a nighttime in parts of the world and daytime in other parts. In that way, the existence of time zones itself is proof Earth is round.
That makes sense.
Because they think Twilight is only globe based. That's why these idiots. I mean, like that video I showed where the guy's in Denmark on a boat, looks at the left, you can see the sun setting.
Yeah.
And then looks to the right, it's nighttime with the moon. Right. On the same boat, exactly the same time. They believe this is due to Earth curve. No, it's due to the limitations of light. The problem is the globe believes that light doesn't have limitations. Because of their belief that a star is trillions of miles away. Light years away, sorry. Trillions of light years away. Yeah.
And if there was no atmospheric refraction, you'll see all the way around to the back of your head through a telescope.
It's crazy.
Taken another way, you wouldn't even need to travel through different time zones. Time zones are wide enough that you will see the sun rising or setting later in the western part of a time zone than in the eastern. According to the Farmer's Almanac, the sun will rise and set roughly 4 minutes later for every 70 miles you drive from east to west.
And what's that got to do to prove a globe, mate? It's just your position to the sun. It's got absolutely nothing to do to be a globe at all. Guys, if you haven't already, please hit that likes and share the show. It's great to have you on. Thank you for coming. You guys rock. Appreciate all the support.
If you wanted to combine this experiment with a previous, you can note how much more of Earth you can see when you begin your ascent into the air than you can while you're sitting on the tarmac waiting to take off or watch a sunset. Pick a nice spot from which you can watch a sunset, call it point A. Ideally, to have a clear horizon in front of you, and behind would be some sort of elevated point. You can quickly access a hill, a building with at least 2 floors, perhaps the aforementioned tree. We'll call this point B.
Yeah, we've talked about this many times. Watching the sunset again means you're just pushing out your field of view further when you push up elevation. So, yeah. Weird how that works. Weird how it's also not showing your horizon dipping down with elevation as it should.
It should, yeah. It always comes to eye line, then, yeah.
It rises relative to eye level because of perspective, exactly.
Right.
He's not letting them respond. Exactly, Thomas. That's what this guy does. He doesn't want them to respond. And he keeps changing. He's scattergunning. That's all he's doing. He's trying to shoot as much as he can around there and let them get to one side. As soon as they want to answer, then he just shuts them down and goes to the next one. He just doesn't want people to rebut his arguments because they are useless. Hey Jim, if you're watching this, you can come talk here anytime, mate. Just know I will not give you the decency they gave you, because this is rubbish arguments. I would close you down while you're talking and tell you, listen, yeah, grow a pair and be humble, eat pie, and realize your argument sucks. Because this is rubbish. This isn't even worth listening to. That's how bad it is.
Watch the sunset from point A, and once the sun is out of sight, hurry over to point B. With the added elevation provided by point B, you should be able to see the sun above the horizon. If Earth were flat, the sun would not be visible.
This is something I always have to say all the time. They love saying, if Earth was flat. That's them making a claim. Prove it. Stop saying if the Earth were flat and say that's what would happen if it was flat.
We observe it as flat. We go out and see, dude. Go out and see.
But you understand what I'm saying? You should always see. You can see forever on a flat Earth. Bullshit. That's not reality.
Eyes of limitation. You're saying
everything has limitations. Like they say, oh, you never see a sunset on a flat Earth. What?
Why not?
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
Oh, because my trigonometry says so. Oh, does your trigonometry take perspective into account? Does your trigonometry take any other optical effects into account? No, it doesn't. So it's a straw man then. Tell me how you don't understand optics without telling me.
I think he just did.
Yeah.
At any elevation, once it had set, because Earth is round, the sun will come back into your line of sight. If you don't have a hill, you can even try lying on your stomach to watch the sunset and then stand up to get a higher point of view. And here's a nice one. I think
now it's getting to video again. Oh, really?
You're going to like this one.
Okay, I want to make a simple video showing a way that you can verify that the Earth is indeed round.
Really?
And I'm going to talk you through my reasoning. Here we go. If you just looked at the northern hemisphere, you can see there's not a...
By the way, hemisphere is begging the question of a globe, guys.
Yep.
Just had to point that out.
Yeah.
whole lot of difference, because the flat Earth model shows...
What flat Earth model?
Yeah, I was going to say, we ain't got a model.
People...
That's a cartoon. That's a picture.
Yeah.
It's an image.
Yeah, that's a map representation of what they do use, but it doesn't mean it's a model. And we don't live on a model.
That's it.
Yeah. Richie, you're gonna like this one though, Flats. I haven't watched this, so I don't know what's going on.
The northern hemisphere in the center, and it's not very different. But if you look at the southern hemisphere, now what's called the Southern Ocean, which goes around Antarctica, now becomes this huge ring which encompasses all of what we call the northern hemisphere.
Hey, Fashion, good to see you. Yeah, they're both round, exactly. Thank you for coming. And Soundless Banana Cam, good to see you too, mate.
Right here. So it should be easy to find differences between places that are in the southern hemisphere. And one way you can do that is with by looking at a Mercator map, which stretches out things equally from the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere.
Oh, Greenland is really that size? Who's ever talking on this video?
Wow.
Really? Are you sure about that? Antarctica's really that size? There's so many things wrong with the Mercator that doesn't make them exactly the same. What's with this guy then? So he's lying then? Okay.
Atmosphere to represent a round globe on a flat surface, but in a very different way than flat Earth model.
That's azimuthal. Okay.
The way I'm going to do that is by looking at 2 round-the-world trips, one in the northern hemisphere, going from Shanghai to Los Angeles to New York City to Dubai and back to Shanghai.
Okay.
Versus a round-the-world trip from Sydney, Australia, Santiago, Chile, Sao Paulo, Brazil, Johannesburg, and then back to Sydney.
Wow.
And on the flat Earth model, it's pretty easy to tell that it would be a much, much longer trip doing this in the southern hemisphere between these cities in red versus the much shorter trip in the northern hemisphere.
Ah, now he's going to put them on the Mercator and say, you see, look at the distances. Yeah, okay.
On the Mercator projection map, the trips look about equal, where because they're both about the same distance from the equator, and I tried to pick routes that would keep about the same distance from the equator. So on a round Earth model, you expect the times to be about the same.
Remember when we explained how the azimuthal equidistant map works, guys? Remember, it's a longitudinal and time map, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Not the latitudinal map. It's not designed for latitudes to be... wow. That's why when they take their distances, they don't understand that the map is not designed for that in purpose, in those distances. It's a projection map.
Of something. Yeah.
Yeah, it distorts actual land masses, making countries appear larger or smaller than their sizes, depending on their latitude. So either a lie or didn't research what's claimed about it. True, Rachie. Or he just heard it from someone and decided, I'm going to sound intelligent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While in the flat Earth model, the southern hemisphere around the world trip should take a lot longer.
Should it now?
So what I did is you can check this yourself. I used the website Kayak, and I mapped out all 8 of these trips. The 4 in the northern hemisphere and the 4 in the southern. Here example is Sydney to Santiago, Chile, and going from Sydney to Santiago, Chile, between 12 and a half hours and 13 and a quarter hours. So I kind of averaged them out. And then I also looked at the reverse trip, which would be from Santiago to Sydney. That's longer because you're going against the prevailing headwinds there.
What? You're going against the headwinds. So that means they could be traveling faster going with the wind then? Where's their Coriolis then?
Well, yeah.
So admitting the winds can change your speeds of your plane. So they could be going faster than what you think they are. Remember, when they look at the speeds, they say an airline travels at an average. That doesn't mean that airline is really traveling at that speed, because you're checking it on an average. Things go against wind and things go with the wind. Really odd.
And I mapped them all out, and Shanghai to Los Angeles, JFK, here we go. And the total for that trip would be about 40 hours and 58 minutes. In the southern hemisphere, which the flat Earth model, which says should take much, much longer, actually is slightly less, a little less than about an hour less. So, which makes no sense in a flat Earth model. So here are the times all written out.
Okay, then I want you to do the discrepancy. Greenland. Is Greenland so squashed? Greenland's supposed to be like there, like 2.5 times its size, correct? Would that push that distance out further on the Mercator map if it was to actual size? Because all that, how do you put this? Just like Rachel said, the sizes of the continents have changed. So changing the size of the continents makes your distances correct now. Changing the distances of your continents means you're changing the distances in between the continents too.
That's right. They know that things are getting squished and elongated as well. So surely they must take that in consideration when they're doing this, but they don't, do they?
Wow. If you can take this map, he's saying if you fly from that part of Antarctica to that part of Antarctica, it should take you as long as flying on his route as well. Because look at the size of Antarctica there.
Wow.
He's saying you can fly then from one side of Greenland to the other side of Greenland about 1, 2, 3, 4, about 7 times. Look how tiny Venezuela is. It's insane.
If you want to pause this and take a look at those times.
Oh, advert again, sorry.
Them all you want, if you'd like. One, just as an example, if you just want to look at a couple, from New York to Dubai and Sydney to Santiago, on this map, it looks about right. They look about the same distance, and sure enough, they should take about the same amount of time. But on the Flat Earth model, there's no way that the Sydney to Santiago trip should take just 10 minutes more than New York to Dubai.
Why? You also just said going against winds and prevailing winds. How do you know the winds aren't different? Also, the continents there are not the same sizes. They're distorted. The difference is they distorted in a different way than the Mercator is distorted. Just because it's distorted doesn't make the distances incorrect.
So you've got 2 different distortions and 2 different things. How are you going to be able to calculate that?
I mean, if we can then dismiss the Mercator distortions, then you can dismiss the azimuthal distortions as well. Because if you stretched out or made it smaller, okay, the distances between the continents will also distort, therefore not giving the right lines you're looking for, the right distances as you're trying to plot out. This is ignorance at its finest, guys. Literally. Hey, SI man, good to see you. The land keeps moving, Rachie. Yeah, guess so. Hey JP, good to see you.
Continental drift, that's what it is.
They think it's going back to Pangea.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they do actually have some kind of theory again that in I think it's 1 billion years or something, Pangea 2 will be all the continents will be drifting back together. Yeah,
man.
If you were to measure this out, put your hand up to the screen, and you'll see that it's actually twice as long a line, the red one here. If you want to check something even easier, from Los Angeles to Sydney on a flat Earth model should take much less than going from Sydney to Santiago, right? It looks like maybe 7 hours on this map, but in fact, if you actually look up the trip, it's actually a longer trip going from Los Angeles to Sydney.
Stop playing these ridiculous long videos.
How's it going?
Wow.
Oh, who is that? I thought someone was in. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's someone on that video. I thought someone was in. Yeah, saying that.
Yeah, it's in the video.
But I agree. Stop playing these ridiculous long videos. It is just stupid.
Wow.
Average it out, and it comes out to 14 hours and 32 going both directions. And cut it in half. So Why on a flat Earth
Really splitting it too? I didn't know that. Hey, Flat Earth Sage, good to see you.
model can you explain? Would it take longer to go from Los Angeles to Sydney than it would take going from Santiago, Chile to Sydney? And that's
I like that. I think it's very telling. Your thoughts, David?
I think I just gave my rebuttal to that, Jim. And, yeah. Just shows you don't really look at the things you're presenting. You just take it because it says for your narrative, you're just going to have a bias towards and say, yeah, it's true, you guys are wrong. That's my take on it.
Aye.
You agree?
Aye, absolutely.
Aye. No.
No, that deal. I'm just net is no. Net.
Yeah. So the simple answer to some of that is if a grandma and was driving from Connecticut to Salt Lake City, and I'm driving from Connecticut to California, and I got there first, does that mean the Earth is a globe? Okay. No, I'm driving faster. And if we actually look at some plane routes, some southern plane routes, here's the thing, Jim. In the northern hemisphere, listen carefully, any northern airport going to any other northern airport never ever crosses the equator. You hear that? When flying from any two locations, from any northern airport to any other northern airport, never do they dip below the equator. The same should be true. There should be symmetry. If we live on a globe, southern airport to another southern airport should never go above the equator. But when we actually look, we have these crazy trips where we go all the way up, right? And then all the way down. When you look at it on a flat Earth map, it's pretty much a straight line. Let's look at another one, okay? And here is, this is from Sydney to Lima, Peru, stops in Los Angeles, right? It goes here, all the way up to Los Angeles, and all the way down. Look at it on a flat Earth map, it's a straight line, right? And there's countless of these. They make no explanation of why are southern flights going deep into the north to get there, but when you look at them on a flat Earth map, they all make perfect sense. Why are we going all the way up and all the way down? Why don't we just go across here? This looks even shorter on the globe because it's a straight line this way.
And it's also to note, you don't actually know if they are actually taking great circle routes, as they put it, on their globe.
We've got Blind Spot in the house. How you doing, Blind Spot?
Hey, Blind Spot, good to see you, mate.
Oh, there we go. Hello.
It's good to have you in. How's your day been so far?
It's been a busy week. I've missed all the shows just about. We've had family here visiting stuff, so just trying to pop in when I can. So, but yeah, not too bad. How's yours?
What? A flat earther has family?
I was running fast. Wow. I thought they all drank their own pee as well. Wow.
Well, it's good to have you in, mate. Yeah, I had quite a busy week, but you were surely missed.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I saw this a little bit, part of this video. I think I was telling you, or I listened to it in a 4-hour Uber ride I was taking.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, keep at it. I'll chime in.
Short, mate.
Cool.
Right? And the simple answer to that is, well, they're hubs and they got to drop off passengers and all sorts of stuff. But when you actually look at it, there's what happens is, Jim, there's emergency landings happen all the time. People die suddenly on airplanes, right? And they have to land. Here's one.
Okay, let's also look at this. Moxie says, yeah, they heard of connecting flights. Let's put it this way. Does a plane use more fuel to take off than it is just to fly?
It takes more to take off than fly, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so if they go and they fly that they don't need to do a connecting route that's way out of their distance, would it work out cheaper for the airline than to go and pick up a passenger, for instance?
Gosh.
Think about that. It's like taking a car down on a long road and you freewheel it most of the way. Would you save on fuel compared to planting it down that road?
That's right. Stick it in neutral and let it roll, saving fuel.
So yeah, there's pros and cons too. You can say, yeah, okay, they need to go up there because they need to get more passengers for money, blah blah blah. But some of those flights show it would be more expensive for the airlines to go that route, even when picking up passengers. It's stupid.
Where they went 1,000 miles out of the way to Seattle. They got there in like 15 minutes. But if you look at it, Seattle is right on that track, right? Another one, they went to Moscow. I think it was 1,500 miles out of their way to go to Moscow, according to where the plane said they were. But Moscow is directly on that route on a flat Earth map. Again, here's another one. They went to Moscow. Moscow is directly on. When you draw a straight line, it's really weird how all of the points go directly on there. And here's one I just want to point out, which is
yeah, and the point you should be making is you're supposed to fly the closest distance, correct? So you gotta go the shortest route.
Of course.
That's what shows on the flat Earth. They're flying the shortest route, which shows out of deviation for your globe. So not shortest route for globe, but shows shortest route on the azimuthal, which is really weird.
One of my favorite.
But yeah, I agree incredibly, Cherry. The case airline flights don't prove the Earth shape. I agree. It doesn't really.
Because the taboo conspiracy got taboo conspiracy had two parts of like a plane trip, and you can see the plane just flying, and the stars should be going above them as they're dipping down, but they're not. The stars all the way went left to right.
Yeah,
as they do. You know, so it should be going over your head if you're dipping down.
Yeah, that's weird.
Favorites is this flight was going from Hong Kong. They were going to the UK. 12 hours, and the whole family flying together, Jim. Mother, father, little kids, they're all sitting together. Mom dies suddenly. She's dead. No reviving her, right? 4 hours into the flight around here, the mother died. Why didn't they stop at any one of these airports? And if you look, there's dozens and dozens and dozens of them. And the answer is the following, because on a flat Earth map, 4 hours later, they were over Russia. And if we landed in Russia and Russia was very helpful, that could spark peace. We don't want that. And two, people say, what the heck are you doing flying over Russia, right? And that's why they didn't do it. Again, there's dozens and dozens of these emergency landings that make no sense whatsoever. Emergency happened here, went all the way up to Seattle. Look, Seattle's right on the plane route. Everything's right on the plane route. Here's a shot. Here's one from New York to Auckland, New Zealand. Right about here, emergency. They went all the way over here to Fiji. Why the heck would they go all the way over there? Why didn't they just continue? Because if you look at it, New York, Fiji, New Zealand. Fiji's not over here, right? Here's a close-up. New York, Fiji's right on that line, right? So when you look at these southern routes, they make...
Yeah, I haven't heard of it splitting. That's the funny thing, Richie. I've never heard it splitting. So I'll actually have to look it up.
Make no sense. Northern routes make perfect sense, right? But northern routes do a little weird thing also. They take this big curve. Let me just show you one. Here's
okay, but this is also getting boring, David. We get the point. You've made your point through and through.
He does. He does go on about it, doesn't he? But yeah, he has got the point right and all that, but he does extend it. He elaborates a little too much.
Yeah. I mean, we get the point, but that still hasn't really rebutted this Jim guy's argument, though.
No.
That's why I said how we rebut it, because we're saying, oh, the continent shapes and distances have changed because it's all projected maps. So you won't be able to use a ruler and say, oh, look, this is what's supposed to happen this way. So he's actually just obfuscated from the argument Jim gave and now made a red herring.
Yo, we got Neil in the house.
Hey, Neil, how's it going, mate?
What's happening?
Good to see you. Hey, truth listener, good to see you, mate.
That ugly mug again. That's that David Weiss. And it's the first thing I got to see when I wake up.
Well, you missed the trigger, Jim.
Space cadet.
You missed the trigger, Jim Fetzer. And now you missed Jim Fetzer getting so triggered. That was funny. was really gay. He's defending.
So
Dave.
they actually said something to get that guy triggered.
Oh yeah, he was defending Dave McKeegan.
Triangles.
Yeah, Triangles McKeegan. And now they're talking about flight routes. Ugh, really, it's idiotic.
But not drop.
Not drop, but they're talking about flight routes. Oh my god. Oh, and Jim made a claim that on a flat Earth, this is what you should see. You should never see sunsets. The higher you go up, you'll always see the same horizon because the line is exactly the same.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but they didn't rebut that though. No, instead, David Weiss is talking about flight routes on an equidistant azimuthal equidistant map. It's like he's not even listening to what the guy's saying. If a guy brings up an argument, debunk the argument he brought up.
No, they just want to say their little stuff. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all I care about. They need to stop debating. Go back to talking about NASA.
This is L.A. to Beirut, all right? And it says, okay, L.A., we go all the way up here. We're taking the Earth curve. We're following the Great Circle route, which is weird. That's not the Great Circle route. And we go over here, Newfoundland and Greenland, and we come all the way over. But if you look at it on a flat Earth map, it's a straight line. Newfoundland, Greenland, it's a straight line. Why is it a straight line every time? Why do airplanes fly straight and level over the Earth plane? Why do airplanes never account for dip? If an airplane's flying at 500 miles an hour for an hour, it should be 80. It would have to nose down a mile every 2 minutes.
Speaking of that, did you guys listen to Dave McKeegan's latest video on why on a globe the plane should not be flying into space?
No, I haven't seen that.
I haven't heard that. What'd he say?
It follows the pressure gradient.
Nice. Wow.
And because the dip of the nose would be 0.02 degrees every second, you wouldn't realize the dip.
But
So
nose is always raised.
So
Brian must be having a heart attack.
So I want to know, me and Brian have been asking this to Wolfie for quite a while as well. Can they show us the data where this dip is taken into account? Because there should be data for this, correct?
Oh, he can't get that. Nobody's giving that to him, right?
It doesn't exist. Yeah, it doesn't exist. I wonder why that is.
Good question.
Follow the curve, but that never happens. It never happens, right? Why? The gyroscope keeps the plane level, says, okay, level's here. It doesn't pay attention to gravity. So as the plane turns up, down, the gyroscope stays level with the horizon. Well, if it's flying over, all the way over, how come?
Yeah, remember when we explained how the gyro sets its horizontal? Sets it because it sets in free space. So let's say this is the runway. When they have the airplane on the runway, okay, the gyroscope is spinning on this horizontal plane. That's what it's set to. So it's perpendicular to the horizon, to the ground when it's gonna take off. Now let's put this on a globe. Remember what we saw there. The plane is taking off here. Okay? The gyroscope is set in rigid space, horizontally, so perpendicular to the ground. A gyroscope does not deviate from its position ever. What happens when this plane goes this way? Would the gyroscope change, or would it have to stay in its rigid plane? Oh shit. It would give a different angle reading. Just like this would give an angle reading. This gives a 90-degree angle. That would give a 45-degree angle. You understand? So eventually the gyro would be, when they're at the equator, totally going again. The gyro would be now vertical in the aeroplane where it was horizontal. Gyro be showing that way, where the gyro showing that way. You get it? Yeah. Try and debunk that, Dave McTwegan.
It doesn't. How come it doesn't process? And it doesn't process at all. One more thing I'll show you. Reality versus reality versus. Well, this is the flight. There's to be 500 miles of curvature, but the airplane's flying straight and level. Now you can claim, well, I don't think that they would see it. I don't think that they would see it. Yeah, I'm looking for another one.
Dave, this is when you're supposed to ask him. Remember earlier you said, Jim, from your airplane you saw 35,000 feet curvature. Can you show me where the curvature is here? That's what you should say to him. Because he made a claim he sees curvature from his airplane window, Neil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is it? Oh, here it is. So this one right here, and we have a more in-depth video on it. This is going from Beirut, I think, down to South America, right? So as he's diving over the globe, these stars should be processing upwards. Google Earth says, hey, if you're going to fly over, we do a little simulated flight on Google Earth. Let's see. Google Earth shows these stars rotating up as you're diving over the curve, right? So a simulation, math, says that this should happen, but reality shows something else. Airplanes fly straight and level over North Plain, Austin.
No, yeah, I mean that, like the very functionality of planes themselves. I know many pilots. They all know the Earth is flat. They fly over the speed of sound, 10 feet above the ocean for hours at a time. They don't.
What? I hope he's not talking about commercial pilots. They don't fly over the speed of sound, mate. Especially not close to the ocean.
What's these? How many pilots does Witsit know? Give me a break.
He knew Bob Nodell, remember?
Yeah.
Oh, Xanadu, that's right.
Wow. That's quite a bold claim to make. 10 feet above the ocean, exactly, Thomas. That's why I'm like, what?
But yeah,
that's pretty sketchy.
Yeah,
10 feet. That's not
very
much.
sketchy, especially over the speed of sound. What's the speed of sound, guys?
What is it? It's 800 and something, is it?
Not really sure. Let's quickly check. Speed of sound.
800 and something. I could be totally wrong. Miles an hour I'm on about.
I think it's 1,000.
Is it?
Yeah, I thought it was over 1,000.
What's Mach 1? Let's see what's Mach 1. It's 343 meters a second. It's about 1,000 kilometers an hour almost. Mach 1 in kilometers an hour.
Yeah, see, I was doing MPH.
1,234 kilometers an hour. A plane doesn't even fly that fast, Witsit.
No.
They fly about 800 kilometers an hour. And they're definitely not going to fly that speed at 10 feet off the ocean. See, this is what I'm saying. Sometimes Wits and them give this bullshit stuff that can shows them to be idiots. And this is why I say it's embarrassing.
Yeah, I was working that miles per hour. So miles per hour is probably about, it's like the guy, Bad that Papa says, is probably about 742 miles an hour.
Miles an hour, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I said 800 round about.
So yeah, I don't know where he gets his information from, but wow, that was bad.
Yeah.
On a count for curvature, everyone knows you have to fly a plane like it's flat. And then the gyroscope also debunks that as curving. When it comes to the southern routes, like, actually, if you look into it, it's easy to debunk the entire argument because people use flight radar, 24/7 flight radar, and then they give you a speed to determine the time it takes to go. And
exactly, Thomas. Earth's been faster than the speed of sound. But they say it's slow. Very slow, apparently. Not understanding a Bugatti Veyron at full speed travels at about 180 meters a second, where the Earth travels about 480 meters a second, according to the Earth spin. But they don't want you to talk about drum velocity, guys. They don't like that. Because they want you to know, oh, it's one rotation a day, so therefore very slow. Yeah. Whatever. Keep telling yourself that.
and it's normally around 500 miles per hour. That's what's called airspeed. But we actually know that there's something called jet streams, and whenever you catch these jet streams, you can go over 800, 850 miles per hour, if not greater. And this is documented, as in your ground speed would be 800 miles per hour, but your airspeed would still be 500 miles per hour because the plane actually determines airspeed relative to the static pressure around the plane. So it doesn't determine how much ground you're covering. So why does 24/7 flight radar, where everyone builds these straw mans against flight?
That is a true thing that he says, though. The instrumentation on the plane when they are in the atmospheric gradient flying or whatever, their speed is determined on that. It's not determined on the ground. So also when they do take the ground distances compared to the speeds, it's wrong. It doesn't match up because it's two different reference points. So that's true what Witsit said there.
Flat Earth, how come no one accounts for the actual ground speed in the jet streams? It never changes. It always shows 500 miles per hour, but we know for a fact that's not true. So that's a major component of all of this. The planes go faster and slower depending on what direction relative.
Yeah, but that's why I said earlier, Witsit, they take average. That's why they take it as average, because of all these things. Flatzoid, any chance you could just quickly show a vid of Professor Dave admitting he reads a script, please? He does read a script, he admitted it. I'm not going to go look for it now, though. But yeah, not a Professor Dave. Literally admitted he reads a script. He has script writers who make the script for him. I mean, I can do the same. I can get someone to write scripts for me, and I'm going to sound as intelligent as anybody I want to. Correct? Does that mean I understand the subject I'm scripted about? No. That's why not a Professor Dave won't go and actually debate someone like myself or Nathan or whatever, because the guy is a moron.
Oh, he has horrible script writers then.
Yeah. Because the guys, even the guys that write these scripts don't really check their information.
To the jet streams, which are provable, the plane will take 3 hours longer in one direction than the other direction from the same two locations. So that's the primary confusion with the southern flight routes that always gets brought up. It never gets addressed, what I just said, though. So really I want to make this point. Every situation has been this, and this is what the whole flat earth discussion is. The basic default position is that we have to treat it like the earth is flat and stationary. For the engineering, the measurements, everything. For sea level, for the planes. Planes have to fly like the earth is flat and stationary, right? And then they're making emergency landings as if the earth is flat, right? But coincidentally, actually, all of it's an illusion, and the exact opposite's true, and the earth is tilted, wobbling, 3 different wobbles, spinning, revolving around the sun. You just can't prove any of it. You can't see the curve. You can't measure the motion. You can't detect it's going around. So if we're actually going to apply logic, well, yeah, of course if the earth was flat, we would have to fly planes like the earth was flat, right? So that's why we do that. So if we're going to claim that it's the opposite, we need evidence for it. And we never get any actual evidence. It's just begging the question as if somehow they can shift the burden over to flight.
Yeah, let's put it this way. Has anybody played Flight Simulator before?
Not that particular. I've been on a Flight Simulator. I was rubbish.
I used to enjoy playing Flight Simulator, and I would do the actual flight times. Like, you do the actual where they try and do that. And if it takes you like 4 hours to fly, it takes you 4 hours to fly. And not on any of the instrumentation of anything does it show the Earth to be moving under you or you dropping for Earth curve, ever. Not even when you stick autopilot on, it does nothing of the sort. You just fly straight and level all the way.
Yep.
Flat earthers, when we're the ones that have the evidence, we fly the plane like it's flat. So I think it's hilarious that someone defending the globe would ever bring up a plane, because it's terrible for them. And one more thing. Go ahead.
The real quick point. The SR-71 at the speed it flies would have to drop 80 stories every second to follow the curve. 80 stories. That's almost as high as the World Trade Towers. Every second it would have to drop that much just to follow the curve. And they don't. They fly straight and level over the Earth plane. Go ahead, Jim.
Well, what you call straight and level, it's all affected by gravity. I mean, it appears they're flying. It's a horizontal versus level line. The guy explained in the video you don't like.
Sorry?
So gravity pushes the nose down exactly the right amount for it to fly around the curvature.
Yeah. Yeah. He's saying gravity.
Did somebody say gravity?
Yeah, he said gravity. He says gravity.
So why don't they hold them on it?
He says gravity determines your horizontal. So yeah, that's what you're supposed to tell him. What is gravity?
I would say you're telling me that the bending of space-time does this?
No, I would ask him
what is gravity.
I'll ask him what is gravity. And if
there you go.
And then you can say, okay, so do you know, because he's probably going to say it's a force. Then you can say, but didn't you know 108 years ago it was superseded by general relativity, Einsteinian gravity, which says it's not a force, it's a bending of space and time in a pseudo-Riemannian mathematical fourth dimensional space, which we are not able to observe because it's only an effect where things appear to move non-observable. So when you see things fall, it doesn't actually fall. It's the Earth rising up to meet it. Del.
Del's going after Globebusters now, huh?
Oh yeah, I saw that. I didn't even watch it yet.
Good find.
But Neil, after the stream, about an hour after the stream ends, I got a video premiering. I think you want to watch it.
Okay.
Nice.
About gas particles.
Nice. You watching that?
One pilot who doesn't recognize Earth as a globe, I'd be dumbfounded.
Okay, I have a video of
dozens.
There's dozens, yeah.
Pilots. Wow.
Many pilots say it. Wow.
Even
there's hundreds, Jim.
Measure shadows across the country.
When I was talking about measure shadows across the country, while they're talking about pilots. Oh wow.
Well, it's like
he shuts off.
He's gripping in. He's trying to grab at anything.
He just shuts off and moves on to the next thing. Just shuts off completely. That's cognitive pain, guys.
Yeah.
That's cognitive pain.
You can see it. You can hear it coming out of him.
Wow.
Two locations some distance apart, at least a couple 100 miles from one another on the same meridian. Grab two sticks or dowels or other objects of equal length, two tape measures, and a friend. Each of you take one stick, dowel object, and one tape measure to your location. Stick the object into the ground and measure the shadow.
Are you measuring angles?
Oh, you're going to be measuring angles, huh?
So
you can't get that off his sphere.
And these shadows, are those angles measured on the surface of the ground?
They are, but it can't be if they're on a ball.
Yeah, exactly. Weird.
It won't work.
Do you think they're going to actually break this down to him this way?
I say no.
Obviously not.
Well, we'll know if Jaren was here. They say, oh, yeah, that's cool. That's how it should work. Jaren. Poor guy.
Accuracy, you should both take your measurements at the same time of day. On a flat Earth, the shadow cast by each would be the same length.
No,
however,
false.
If you and your friend compare notes, you'll find one shadow was...
Why would it be the same length? Tell us. I love how they make assumptions and claims what should happen on a flat Earth.
Yep.
They just make assumptions. Let you guys not make claims, so let's make claims for you. Okay. Now it's your burden to prove, mate. You made a claim. Prove it.
Is longer than the other. That's because due to curvature of Earth, the sun will hit one part of Earth at one angle and
what? Richard G, I bet he's got this. He got his head dunked in a toilet a lot as a kid. What? No offense to anyone else had this happen. At least it's never happened to me before, and I don't know anybody actually who's ever happened to before. Maybe it's an American thing.
another at a different angle, even at the same time of day.
Ridiculous.
This experiment has been around since 240.
Oh, another thing we can say. It's not an experiment. It's not science. What's the IV? What is the observed phenomena, first of all?
Unfortunately, they don't know what science is either, so they can't even call them on that.
Oh, this is bad. But we'll see what they're going to say. Hey, Victor. Good to see you, mate.
Oh, brilliant. I mean, I see plenty of people manipulating shadows. Excellent. Wow.
BC, when the Greek mathematician Eratosthenes compared the shadows cast in both Cyrene, now Aswan, Egypt, and Alexandria on the summer solstice. Eratosthenes had learned of a well in Cyrene where once a year on the summer solstice, the sun would illuminate the entire bottom of the well, and tall buildings and other objects would not cast a shadow. However, he noticed shadows were being cast on the summer solstice in Alexandria. So he measured the angle in the shadow and found it to be an angle of about 7.2 degrees.
So he measured an angle on the surface of Earth. Mm-hmm. So his adjacent was flat then, not curved. Weird. Also note, Eratosthenes doesn't even have documentation to have ever existed. Also note, the stories keep changing. Wells and obelisks, wells and sticks, wells and compasses. They can't make up their mind what the guy used. And the story came on 300 years after he supposedly died. Weird how that works. And all his supposed work burnt in the library, Alexandria Library. Huh. Very convenient.
Google International Space Station photos, of course. Look at some of the amazing photos.
What? Photos from Narnia? Photos from a place that violates the second law of thermodynamics. Will they call him out on this one as well? We'll see.
It should. But I don't.
We'll see.
Photos. We have doubts about NASA. I don't doubt these specific photos. Sometimes seeing is believing, and one's own research can be the best evidence, whether that's taking the time to do your own investigating or simply searching for the results of others who have run their own experiments. Here's a guy who built his own rocket.
Jim.
Oh, really? Yeah. Hey, Emerald Gore, good to see you, mate.
Let's give us time to respond. Oh, man.
Yeah, see, this is the problem. He brings up so many different arguments, he doesn't give them time to respond to anything. It's crazy.
There you go. There you can see your Kermit. You're already there.
Yeah,
Go ahead. So
wait. 56 miles above Earth.
Wow,
Correct?
and you can see
what about some other rockets that went higher and you saw nothing? No curve.
Yeah. No,
Weird.
If the camera dipped down, you would have seen it could have gone concave.
And why did he show the whole video? Because that video showed it had fisheye lens on. Remember?
Yeah.
Oh, he's under the assumption that the horizon's Earth curve?
He does, yeah.
Boy.
He does believe that.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. And by the way, guys, you've done actual demonstrations with sticks on the flat ground with a light source showing it does match reality. Oh, wow.
So Jim, I want you to really pay attention here. In the heliocentric model, the sun is infinitely far away, 93 million miles. We have straight rays. So here's the heliocentric model. Here's Aristophanes.
Whoa. Already, you started wrong, Dave. What is
straight
the argument?
rays?
What is the argument here? No, but what's the argument? How did you get your angle on a curved adjacent? You can't get angle with a curved adjacent. Full stop. That debunks his angular reading. Okay? Then you can move on to say, according to your model, you have straight rays. Let's go take a picture of the sun quickly. Let's go look at the sun. Wow, that looks very parallel to me.
Mm-hmm.
You show him these pictures, correct? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then you say, what you just claimed is demonstrably false. Then you can give him the history on Eratosthenes never existing.
Yeah.
That's how you do it, Dave. Not saying, oh, look, my flat earth, your sphere. Look at different. They can work on both. Idiot. He's still giving it to the guy.
Please look carefully. Here's his stick. There's no shadow. His buddy over here has a vertical stick, vertical to where he is, and there's a shadow. That's what you're explaining with Eratosthenes. Well, here on a flat Earth, we have
See what I'm saying? He's literally given him to the globe. He said, yeah, you see, it works on the globe. That's what he's just said. Why, Dave? Why?
Small local sun. Okay, here's Eratosthenes, here's his buddy, and there's a shadow. There's a length of a shadow. You can do math to figure out the sphericity of this flat area, right? No one's ever seen parallel rays. They don't come in parallel.
Thank you. Eventually bringing that up.
Thank you, yeah.
But he's already said the globe's possible when he said, this is how you explain it.
Yeah.
But yeah, what's an angle? Woo.
Sun is very small and very local. Right, and you could do this at home, right? Get a couple batteries, lighters, bottles, whatever. Put a light over this one. This one's got a long shadow. This one's got a short shadow. Does that mean that this table is spherical?
Yes,
okay,
it does.
so Eratosthenes is off the table. You misunderstood the story of Eratosthenes. And then the next one you said was you don't believe in NASA, but for some reason you believe that those photos are real. So what we're going to look at, NASA doesn't even claim that's a real photo. But we're gonna look at. Hold on. We're gonna look at some photos. Let me just find it real quick. Here is the 2012 photo of Earth.
I don't know. It's gonna bring the Blue Marble up. This is where Weiss. What would we say? Tell him where's your science? Where's the experiment? Then you go onto this and you can say, okay, how do you have a photo in the second in a law
of thermodynamics violation.
Exactly, the law of entropy violation.
Mm-hmm.
But he's probably not going to bring that up. He's just going to bring Mark Simmons on. He said it has to be. It's Photoshop, but it has to be. Yeah. I wish Dave would actually progress in his arguments. I wish he would just get out of his flippin' script and start progressing, because he's not progressing. He says the same shit over and over and over.
Oh yeah, this is that he's got this down to T. He's landed off by heart.
Yeah,
it's definitely. It's always the same what he says. Yeah, you're right.
This is one of the best ones that they have. And if we look at this is a Mercator map. We look at it. It's exactly this. It's literally took this image off the Mercator map, posted it on a ball, and you have to believe that the rest of all of this land is on the other side.
And that can be debunked with using crop factor in a photograph. Dave, if you knew anything about photographs, you'd know that crop factor can do that. So again, the argument should be, how did you take this photo? Where is it situated? It violates natural law. That's the argument you should be making here.
Out of that ball, right? And so here's another one from the International Space Station. Look at this Earth curve, Jim. It's amazing. But then look at this other photo of the same area.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. That's true.
No, certainly not.
We've seen that a lot. And then they claim, oh, but they're not using a fish angle lenses because look, the panels aren't bending. Yeah, it's because it's just plated. It's CGI. There's probably a green screen behind there with separate imagery, and in front of it is just layered on imagery or a airfix model. Can be faked very easily.
Something is wrong there. Something's wrong. So you're claiming that these photos, this is from the International Space
Charlie,
Station.
thanks
Amazing.
for coming,
Look
mate.
at the curve. I see the curve. I see the atmosphere. It's nighttime. But if we look at these land features, it's this tiny little circle right here. This tiny little circle. So to claim that those are real is disingenuous, right? And here's the other side of the Earth. Here's the other side of the Earth. all of this that we're seeing here is here. So I thought when we showed just this, all of this was on the other side. But now we look at the other side and we just have this, right? One more, and then I think we're done. Look at the beautiful Earth curve, and you got the selfie, you got the space station here. It's in this tiny little square right here, proving NASA is faking photos of Earth. You know NASA didn't go to the moon, but you believe they're taking pictures of Earth from the space station.
No, what proves they're not taking photos of the Earth is the fact they're claiming to be in a space vacuum which violates natural law, Dave.
Yeah, you should have had that.
Bad.
Well, I'm open to it, but we have confirmation from other sources like the amateur rocket picking up. It went up 56 miles. Now, 6 miles is about the altitude of a commercial flight. It was 50 miles higher, and you can clearly discern the curvature.
50 miles higher than a commercial air... No? What?
I don't know what he's trying to say there.
Okay.
Explained before, or sought to, that on a large spherical object, local regions display the properties of a flat surface to a high degree of approximation. I submit that's what's happening here. And I would add the simplest evidence of Earth's rotation is the Foucault pendulum.
Please, no.
Wow. Why? Foucault's pendulum. Yeah, the fake cold pendulum.
Yeah.
It's weird how they have to keep it in perpetual motion with magnets.
Exactly. Yeah. They have to start it off.
I have to keep it going as well.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's still connected to Earth too.
Yeah, exactly.
You can never take it off of Earth.
You wouldn't need to be out of that medium. Do you know what I mean?
I've seen Foucault's pendulum go in the opposite direction too, by the way. That's really bad. And yeah, in South Africa we got 4 Foucault pendulums, and none of them are in commission. Why? Because it doesn't work.
Scrap metal.
Yeah. Waste of money.
Absolutely.
It's a parlor trick.
Yeah.
You have a pendulum going back and forth, and Earth is rotating, and it moves in 24 hours. Check it out. There's one even at Griffith Park.
I love how he talks about it like no one had ever heard of the Foucault's pendulum before.
I want to thank you guys for coming on and laying out your position. But just because we have disagreements doesn't mean one of us is lying, and I take strong exception.
Do you think I should email Jim Fetzer, and asking for a chat?
Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
Maybe I should email him and say, I saw you talk to Witsit and them, but I don't think they represented the flat Earth correct.
Definitely. I mean, he knows the moon landing. So he's got to start there, you know, so... Yeah, maybe work on that.
Would be interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dawson's implication regarding a guy, the expert in surveying and what he was reporting.
Expert in surveying. Dave McKeegan's not an expert in surveying, mate. At all. Not at all. What the hell is he talking about?
As so far as I can discern, he's spot on. So since I agree with him, is that supposed to make me a liar too?
No, that just makes you gullible.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It makes you have a bias. That's all, because they gave the reasons why he is a liar. But you choose to say he's not a liar, you're the liar. That's what he said, correct?
Right.
Yeah. Oh.
No, you're not a liar, Jim, and that guy's not an expert in surveying. He's a photographer.
As a student of the history and philosophy of science who taught courses in logic and critical thinking and scientific reasoning for 35 years,
critical thinking and logic. But this whole chat, he showed 20-minute long videos without anything, brings up 5, 6, 7 arguments at the same time, and as soon as someone wants to say something, then he's got an issue with him saying it, and when they ask him to rebut back, he changes the subject. That's not logical at all.
No.
That's just dishonest, actually. Ian says he would have a heart attack if Jim debated. He will probably get very angry.
He would, yeah, I just spotted that. He's probably right enough. He's probably right enough.
I do kind of have that effect to trigger people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I emphasize.
Faciality, thank you very much for your $10 super chat. Really, really appreciate the support, mate. He says, my issue isn't gravity. If it was the reason most things stay down on a flat earth, okay, cool. The issue is that causing spheres in space, violating natural laws, water, gas, and most of all antipodal. Exactly. Thank you very much for the super chat. You see, faciality, the thing is, gravity is just a name they're given to how we observe things falling to the ground. So they gave it a name and then used that to say, oh, everything in space is a planet. Now we carry on begging the question, say, because we see those things spherical, mass has to attract mass and it has to implode into itself, so therefore Earth has to be a sphere as well. So they take it too far. I don't have the problem with them calling it gravity or whatever. I have a problem is they don't know what gravity is and they want to use the name gravity to build their whole heliocentric religion on it, even though they don't have a cooking clue what it is. That's my issue with it. So yeah, thank you very much for the super chat, mate. Really, really appreciate it.
This has been a wonderful illustration that if you adopt a position you believe absolutely as on a moving train that it's stationary and are willing to make sufficiently drastic alterations in your other beliefs, you can come up with a coherent view. But it is not the simplest account of what happened here. I turn to you, David, for a closing remark. Yours.
My closing remark is that I only encourage you to go back and watch the video, watch the stuff that we have. You know, you brought up Aristophanes. I completely proved that wrong. We move on to the next thing. You see?
Sorry, bubbles being a sphere, Stone, is because the gas around it causes pressure on all directions. You know, that's why it is a bubble, a sphere, because it's pushing in all directions around the bubble. Gas moves in all directions. Well done. So not gravity then. And yeah, surface tension too, Raichi. Intermolecular bonds that don't really believe that, I guess. I don't know.
You say that
that was by moving the location of the sun.
Emerson, why are bubbles spherical? I just told you.
Arbitrarily close to Earth, or you wouldn't get that phenomenon.
Like we see it. Correct. Just like we see it.
I love how he says, give me a closing statement, and they interrupt him in his closing statement.
Yeah.
Wow.
Astronomer or physicist that would buy your argument for a minute, David.
Correct. Then none
appeal
of
to
them
authority.
To be candid.
Yeah.
It's an appeal to authority.
Austin, I want you to have a word here. Go
ahead, Austin.
Yeah, so I'm going to be really honest. I mean, if we actually apply logic, every single thing presented was fallacious. Appeals to authority, appeal to consensus, affirming the consequent fallacy, shifting the burden of proof fallacy, reification fallacy, sexist sharpshooter fallacies. And this is all the globe has. When you're trying to defend something that isn't.
Back at you, Austin. Back at you. That's just absurd.
What back at you? I love that. Just back at you, Austin. Just back at you.
Why did he say, give me an example of what we said?
Yeah.
That was back at. What do you mean back at me?
Yeah. What the hell? This is crazy. This Jim is definitely not a debater, that's for sure. Not a logical thinker, that's for sure.
This is absurd. I go through every argument for publicly available sources. It's all bona fide. It's all on the legit. So for you to come on with a massive, that's what you have to do. You have to accuse everyone else of being a liar, a phony, a fraud, wrong, horse shit. Horse shit, Austin. I'm really insulted that you would make that kind of argument.
But he's a hypocrite.
Why did they challenge him to bring some evidence of anything?
Exactly.
But that it just was being taught. or just a model?
Yeah.
Give us some evidence.
But I mean, this Jim is actually just a hypocrite. He's doing exactly the same to Witsit and David of what he's saying he's appalled by.
He's a heliocentrist.
He's
What do you
doing
expect?
yeah, it's
He's
crazy.
indoctrinated.
Yes, I don't agree with like Witsit and them how they were handling some of the arguments, but Witsit really did well in some of the points. David just did really bad.
He just does what he always does. That's
Yeah.
it.
Did they lay down the Black Swan argument for this guy?
No. Black
Okay,
Swan.
so now the guy could never see. That's what turned John Shelton refracted curvature around. When he saw that there was no measurement of Earth, that's what turned him. That's what they need to show this guy.
Black Swan did. I agree. Definitely.
Insulting.
Oh, so M. Stone, he says, do you agree that what causes a spherical is a force in all directions, right? Correct. So gas is creating a force in all directions. So gas moves in all directions, not go down, go boom, boom, M. Stone. Welcome to Flat Earth, you moron.
Stone is a troll. Ignore him.
But he just debunked his gravity.
Yeah, he does that all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, but I just want to there's real fast. Can we
I
just?
want to thank you. I've had enough of Austin.
Thank
I
you.
want to thank you for coming on at this time. And I had hoped to have Paul come on to offer his thoughts, but I mean, I'm telling you, we have done. You know, if I mess about flat Earth again, I'll explain. I gave it the office.
What?
All right,
Thank
Jim.
you,
Thanks
guys.
so much.
Real pleasure.
Thanks.
You got
Goodbye.
it.
Goodbye. All right, I kicked him out.
Oh, what the crap, bro?
All right, dude, that was amazing. Amazing. You know what? I guess it's gonna be "You Can't Teach an Old Dog New Tricks" is the name.
Bro, that dude, he did not want to talk to Austin either, bro. He did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that was it, guys.
I've had enough of us. Hey, Rio!
Oh, wow.
See, but these are the things that blows his head up, that makes him think great.
Who did he?
People don't even want to talk to me.
Ooh. Sorry, Rachie. Whoa.
Yeah,
M. Stone. That's rubbish, man.
Yeah, don't do that, M. Stone, man. It's out of order.
That's sick. Come on.
Next time you're banned. Simple.
Yeah. See, this is the level of these trolls. I actually want to share a video. You guys know David Wood. He's a Christian apologist. He usually debates atheists and Muslims. Well, recently his son died. He had TMS, a very rare disorder. And you should see the messages he got. It's sickening. It's crazy. I'm gonna actually send the video on a community post so you guys can see, and I think he handled it very, very good. Very well. I mean, they send him photos like, sending a photo of his kid burning in hell, saying this is your son right now.
Wow.
Yeah. That kind of hate.
I mean, that's not even just terrible. It's sick.
It's beyond sick. Or
It's an abomination. Abomination is as bad as you can get, I think. An abomination.
Yeah, it's crazy. Or he's an abuser because he let his son waste life on Earth because he was disabled. I was like, what?
Wow.
Yeah. But he handled very well. So I'm definitely going to send that stream he did because he goes through all the comments and he really handled it well. So big up, shout out to David Wood. I pray blessings for that guy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's not a flat earther, guys. He thinks it's stupid, but that doesn't make a person genuine or not. David Wood's awesome. So yeah, guys, I can't believe it. We actually finished the series. So tomorrow night, are you coming, Neil? We're going to learn thermodynamics. Professor Phil Bell is going to teach us thermodynamics.
I'm going to try. I just doing the night work, man. It's killing me.
Yeah.
It's literally killing me.
I'm going to actually invite Brian as well. saying, does he want to come and be taught thermodynamics through Professor Full Bell? Or QE, I'm going to call QE as well. QE, you want to come?
That's tomorrow. Man. We got full tomorrow.
Yeah, we got Full Bell tomorrow night.
Oh man.
So I'm looking.
Yeah, let Brian know. See if Brian will come.
Yeah, I'm sure Brian will want to come on. Even Adam, I'm going to invite him too. This should be fun. But yeah, it's good to have you guys. Any closing statements before we close off?
Yeah, I mean, Dave, he did what he always does. I mean, he's scripted. He's just doing what he always says, and he must have it down to a T because he just whizzes through it. But a lot of what Austin says was right. You know what I mean? I think he was on the
I think
right
he actually
line.
did well this time.
Yeah, he did do well, very well. I mean, I could see him kind of maybe hopefully coming back to the light side. But hey, there was a few things in that
we didn't agree with. Yeah,
exactly. But yeah. I mean, all in all, yeah. And that Jim, he triggered all the way. He's fun to laugh at, to be honest. It'd be good to talk to him, really would, because he seems like a nice guy. Well, he would be an intelligent guy, you know. He's just well indoctrinated, I think. But there's a start there. He doesn't believe in the moon landing. That's a good start. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So Witsit did well, at least.
Yeah. At the end of the day, guys, we had 65 votes. Why is the Globus so triggered? 55% say because he can't accept reality, and 32% say because that's cognitive pain, and 12% say no, he's not triggered, just passionate. So yeah, Neil, you have anything to say?
The party's over. Turn out the lights. It's been over since Black Swan and Celestial Navigation. These morons don't ever bring it up, and they go round and round in circles. I can't take these cats no more.
Yeah,
that's all you need. You're right, Neil. That's all you
very
need.
True.
Black Swan 2020. Simple. That's all you need.
To me, I think you only need three main arguments. What is an angle?
The gas pressure without containment.
Yeah. What is an angle?
Yeah.
So celestial navigation, gas pressure without containment, and the Black Swan. You don't need anything more than that.
No.
At all.
That's the heavyweight champions three-piece combination. No one can stand after that.
I mean, then you get people like Mark Reed that tell me gas doesn't have behavior.
Yeah. he must be thinking behavior as in like a human attribute behavior sort of thing, you know.
Yeah. Wow.
Gas doesn't go in moods and stuff like that, you know.
But yeah, guys, I gotta say thank you for coming. Really appreciate everybody being here. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for hitting the likes. Share the show. You guys rock. So tomorrow night, it's a big one. Share the show. It's going to be a big one because we have Professor Full Bell finally coming to teach us dumb flat earthers thermodynamics. So till tomorrow night, many blessings. May the pressure be with you. Cheers.